I'm working on a thumbnail generator for this YouTube channel, so I don't have to manually design them. I don't have to pay somebody to design them, and I can just kind of like steer these models to do what I want to do, right? This is not going to be a tutorial for that, but I really do think that you're going to get a lot of value out of this when you think about the actual like tip that I'm going to give you here and the advice, because it's just been an interesting process, and I will show you more about this specific thing, but I just want to explain to you that that's where this comes from, but you could adapt this and apply this in every single situation you deal with AI. So I'm try to keep this as brief as possible here. Let me just explain to you what's going on. Big, huge directory here. It's actually for automating video editing, but I also, use this directory for the thumbnail stuff. I need to clean it up. That's not the point. The point is that my prompts back and forth with this AI for building this have been pretty good. I've been trying to make it as deterministic as possible. I've tried a couple different things, but this stemmed from when Image Gen 2 from ChatGPT from GPT like rolled out, and it's fantastic. Like I made a video about it the other day. It's really really good. Like it's better than Nano Banana, which is what I was using earlier. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this. So I went and made an API key. You can see the video, and then I made some images and some different stuff like via here. And I realized right away that it's very good at keeping your face the way that it is. Actually getting good logos most of the time from companies and all that sort of stuff. Everything you would consider. Now, I'm talking about YouTube, but you could just use it for any sort of graphic, generation. But what I want to walk. I always have a hard time explaining these videos because I want to walk you through my thinking, because I think that's really valuable, even though it's not sensationalist like all the other AI content. So what's happening here is I went through and I literally just said exactly what I want to do. I want to make an AI generator and the thumbnail generator. I have some styles that I wanted. I grabbed a bunch of content from, context from all these other channels, and I was like, hey, these are the types of things that I'm trying to aim at. This is where I'm currently at with some of my stuff, whatever. So this is one that just came out from very recently with this video that I just released earlier today, this AI OS video. And I went through like a bunch of different things. There's two methods that I used right now. One is just like push a bunch of content via, this is in Claude code, but push it in programmatically into the OpenAI API, and then it AI generates a thumbnail. That was one thing. The other way, slightly off topic, was let's just do it with HTML. Like I thought maybe we could just create an HTML thumbnail, which this actually did work. Actually, I think for my last video before this, it kind of worked. And then you can just take a picture of that. It just takes a JPEG of that and then has that, and then you can just upload that. I don't know if any of these, maybe like this one, you see kind of here, you see how like I was telling it, if you understand what's going on here, like these are JPEGs, but it was rendered in HTML and then a screenshot was taken in uh like from that HTML. Think of it like if you just had and it did all this. Like imagine if you had like a 16 by 9 image on your screen, but it's technically a website, and then take a picture of that. That's effectively kind of what happened here. But you can see like this is tough because it it wasn't really understanding how big to make that. Like literally that's an image that it's changing like the styling of the CSS effectively of. So then like, these are obviously, these ones are like AI generated. This is a different video. My whole point is that what I learned today, okay, and this is the takeaway, is that I started in this same way of like generating these AI images, these AI thumbnails, and it's like, it's okay, whatever. But I think what happened was I had a huge style guide, and I'm going back and forth with this thing, and I don't know where exactly it was, but it's trying to gaslight me into saying that it's that image gen through ChatGPT is not very good. Like the Gen 2 thing is not very good, right? And I think it's right here actually. Let me see. So it's like GPT image 2 is genuinely mediocre at this aesthetic. And then I yelled at it after this. I was like, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I do. And this is the value here, is like you have to kind of know, like this is where you have to know a little bit more than the model as far as like the new shit, because this 4.7 is not like, it's not trained on like this stuff that's came out last week, right? Like they're never actually trained that quickly because it takes time, or that recently because it takes time to get all this information, right? So my point is like when you know that you want to use something, you have to prompt it to go get more information and understand it. And in this particular case, I tried to do that. It kind of worked. But I want to show you the line of thinking that I took next when it told me this. I was like, no, listen, you're completely wrong. Like you're just wrong. Like it's not it is way better than you're describing. You don't have the awareness and the actual training on it. So we have to use it. We have to continue to prompt better. This is why prompting is actually like a skill, because you have to steer this thing. Like it is not going to remember everything. It's not going to have knowledge of everything to begin with. I find myself doing this a lot where it's like, listen, go out and find the information. It's very good at finding the information. It's very good at synthesizing. It's not good at knowing everything because it's not completely omniscient. It's trained on a bunch of shit, but it's still like, if you're doing stuff in recent history, it's not going to necessarily know all that. So that's all of these things come together. But the real thing that I did, and this is the reason I turned on the camera here, is because I was going through that and I was like, okay, it's starting to make things that are like better now. So I think like eventually we got to like this point or whatever. And I was like kind of going through it because like, I mean, you could see some of this other one that was an HTML one, but you can kind of see like, I think I ended up using one of these, and like, I ended up going more in this direction because I wanted to try to refine this prompt effectively more in this process. But this was the key unlock that was like crazy. Was like, okay, I generated a bunch of these, whatever. And then right down here, I was like, wait a second. All right, let's back up for a second. You are generating all these things and you don't even know, you're not even sure, because you just told me this thing is terrible and it's not. You don't even know what we should be prompting in. This is where like the experimentation starts to come in, and sometimes fetching information and just doing the research doesn't even work enough. You have to do actual experimentation. So I was like, hang on, let's stop for a second. I know for a fact that this thing can do really good thumbnails with barely any context. Like in my other video or in Modern Builder Society or something, I was literally just like, just make me a video with this face and just about it's a 1-sentence prompt about me in like Claude code or something. And it made a beautiful thumbnail that was fantastic. Like I gave it such little context, and it got it got my face right. It got the logos right. And it put too much text on the thumbnail, but that's we could fix that and all this stuff. So then at this point, I'm like, wait a second. Let's just do an experiment, bro. Like, we're trying too hard here. I need you to see how good this is and then like kind of reverse engineer a solution for it. So that's what happened here. It played around with some of the settings. And then down here, like these are the 3 I'm going to show you right now. So it did 3 tests with like 0 direction and then like a light direction and then high quality. I mean, when I read this, I was like, oh, okay, we absolutely need to like share this, because it's like, it's too much text, but it's high, but the production quality is crazy. So it's these ones down here. So this is the first one that it did, again, with basically no context, right? It just said like generic motivational creator slop. Yeah, you don't want to use this. But my point is like, this is what's going to separate you from the normies and the people that actually use this stuff really well. If you see that it can output that, and that's obviously shit. Like, what does that mean? But there's 2 points to that. It's like the content, but then also like what it can do. If it can do that, that looks legit. That like the words are all good. My face, that's like the actual thing. Like, it didn't change anything like that. Like when people say AI image generation has gotten good, they mean that it can produce that. What the next level though is the fact that you should look at that and you should be like, okay, that isn't at all in line with what I wanted for this video, but the fact that it can do that is amazing, right? So then like we look at this too, right? So it's like, okay, well, that's pretty crazy. Would I want that as my YouTube thumbnail? Depending on who you are, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't think that general best practices on thumbnails have that much text on them, and like the face should probably be bigger and some other shit like that. But like look how it did these tests, and then it looked back at it itself, right? So test 2 right here. Stuff the entire title in the thing because it gave it the title, but look at the production quality, like chip illustration for floating UI cards and all this other stuff, right? So like it can do this stuff. You just have to figure out the best way to prompt it to do it effectively, right? So, and again, we're starting down here. Like you were right that we've been oversteering. Quality high is a real lever, etc. So this is the high lever. Actually, let me click on this actually, then click here. Or was that the high one? No, this is a different one. So this is the high, right? So there's like multiple different, there's medium and there's high on the quality scale on the API for OpenAI. And it's like, you need an AIOS, okay, whatever, right? So like, then it looked at this and it was like, okay, this is the punchline, same prompt, but higher quality model, fully designed, whatever. Like, this is the type of stuff that like, you just need to hone in and you just need to figure this out. And I'm just telling you because like, I'm literally in the process of doing this, but this is like the eureka moment is like, I have to do this even more than I probably already am with like a little bit of this experimentation. And then when I figure it out, I'll share it with you, obviously. But that's the key here is like these things can do a lot, but sometimes with a couple of those tips that I told you, like it doesn't know everything that just came out like yesterday or the week before. Sometimes it doesn't know what it's actually doing. Sometimes you have to figure like you have to do an experiment to get it to then be like, oh, okay, I actually understand what this is capable of now. Now we can like kind of course correct and we can prompt a little differently or we can send different information. Like again, I was sending like 3,000 worth of tokens, like in style guide and everything like that. I think that's actually too much. I think we need a, like here, like from all that, right? Like the AI's, my new theory of how we should prompt should work. So hard locks. So certain things are locked because we want, the face position and all that sort of stuff, but like a focal element and then run at quality, like high for ships. So, I just think that like when you give it all of this, and I'll wrap this up with this, once you figure all this out, like my next prompt in here, I'm not actually going to do it, but it'd be something like whisper flow. If you never want to type again, by the way, here, link in the description. But my next prompt would be something like, hey, okay, that's fantastic. It looks like you learned a lot from this. So what I would love to do is I'd love to continue to do some of our experimentations, but also I definitely want to make sure that we're creating, I mean, we could even create like a new document now with some of these findings, but we need to make sure that our process moving forward, we want to make it as, it's not going to be deterministic. If we can make it as deterministic as possible, that's great. But we also want to make it as least, like as little probabilism, like probabilisticness, I don't know if that's a word, as possible. So whatever we find here that works, now this model has the actual ability to create really good stuff. We need to figure out how to leverage that as best as possible. So that's pretty much it, right? It's like we need to figure out a way. You need to constantly be figuring out a way to understand. You need to know what's out there, what's possible, and then you need to reverse engineer the solutions to the things that you're doing. And you have to also remember that it's not going to know everything. It does know a lot, but it doesn't know especially the more recent stuff. But when you give it the context and you give it that stuff to synthesize, then it's pretty fantastic. So yeah, learning, trying, sharing everything that I do here. If you're interested in more stuff like this, Modern Builder Society is my community that I have a lot of people navigating the same thing in there with me. We have bi-weekly calls, discounts on advisory stuff. There is some courses. I'm going to be dropping some new content in there very soon. And if you're a business owner and all this stuff is kind of like makes your head spin and you want somebody in your corner to handle all this with you, link in the description as well to work with me. Be happy to do so. Thank you so much for taking even a moment of your time to watch any of my content. I greatly appreciate it. Let's keep going. I'll talk to you in the next one.